Hello guys, welcome to the introduction of the dynamics in Zbrush 2021. It's not an advanced tutorial. I'll be showing few techniques that I've been using from I guess 3 hours. Okay, let's start. Here we have the matcap material. I don't want to use that, but I'm going to use the basic material in here. So to test the dynamics out, here we have got the new option in 2021 Zbrush. Here we have to click this icon, this button. So if you click in there, you'll get this kind of pop up in the left side. So here we're gonna test the dynamics out. I'm gonna take a plane to test it out. I'm gonna take a plane. I can go and take a plane here. So I took the plane and I'm gonna put this on top. Let me go in this direction. I have to turn on the double to check in both views. I can rotate a little bit. Of course, I need to change the perspective, and I'm gonna go to the draw and draw and select the 85 because that's a good angle of you to use Zbrush. So here we have the plane. I'm gonna increase the size of the plane to check and simulate the cloth nicely and check the dynamics, of course. And here we have the cloth. It's not just the cloth, but we can use we can use the dynamics for everything, not just for the cloth. And I'm gonna use just the cloth kind of dynamics in here. I'm gonna go to the geometry, and here we can see the dynamic substitution levels. Now here we have to turn on dynamic, and once you do that, you can see that thickness, right? Have to increase that to a little bit, just like that. I can reduce a little bit more to give some cloth kind of look to it. And I'd like to increase the smooth to 3 in here, so we can get nice folds and simulations. And here we have got the plane, and we have to turn it into the cloth using the dynamics in Zbrush. So I'm gonna go into the draw mode. I haven't gone in there yet. So right now I can set the collision value. If you don't set this, it's not gonna simulate properly. It is gonna be colliding with the floor, but not with the objects in the scene. So we have to turn this on, and once you do that, you have to recalculate the objects in the scene in here. You have to press in here, so it will be calculated to simulate the cloth. And you can turn on the floor collisions if you have the floor. Let me turn on the floor in here. So right now it's on the brush. I'm gonna simulate. So I don't like to be using one in here in the inflate because it gives some kind of awkward result. So I'm just gonna be going and reducing this to 0.25 or 2.3 or something like that. Yeah, no, come on, you're doing wrong. Anyway, come on, buddy. Yeah, right now I'm gonna simulate it. Come on, buddy. And I'm gonna simulate it in here. See how nice the cloth is simulating. Wait a minute, you just need to simulate this much. I don't want it to be falling on the floor. If you don't want it to be falling on the floor, you can do something in here. What you can do, you just need to go in here and you can mask in there and simulate, so it won't be falling down fully because it's masked. Yeah, cool. Wait a minute, the gravity is too much in here. The gravity is too much. I can reduce the gravity to 5% from 10. So here we have done our simulation. We can do more if we need to. This is how the cloth simulates in Zbrush. And right now we have got the nice folds and stuff in here. And this is going to be working greatly for us. We don't need to use Marvelous Designer for our clothing anymore, I guess. But of course, sometimes we have to be using Marvelous Designer. But some quick clothing, it is going to work very nicely. But not just the quick, but it can be using for the final clothing because it has a lot of dynamic options in here. And right now, if we need to increase some great forms, we can increase this count in here. Let's see now how it generates the cloth after increasing the firmness in here. Let's see how it works. It is working a little bit slow. See how this is like a lightweight cloth, and it's just generating very nicely. See, the forms are getting so nice. But let me turn off this one. The form, it is more like a leather kind of cloth because it's not giving that much level of silkiness. So we have to reduce this to get some kind of silky cloth, I guess. Yes, that's true. If you reduce this, it is gonna give some smooth cloth material, like silky material for this. And we're not gonna run simulations anymore because we have reached the floor nicely in here. And if you increase this, you're gonna get some kind of what you can say, the leather kind of texture. I mean the material for the cloth. And here we have got a lot of options in the brushes. We have got from here to here, the cloth wind. These brushes are gonna be lifesavers for the clothing in Zbrush because it works with the gravity, so you don't have to worry about anything. So I'm gonna use right on the mesh. So right now I'm gonna generate some simulation on A, and I'm gonna use one by one and check how it works. I haven't used them much, but let's check now. Let me go into the cloth twister first because we use that a lot and we have to reduce this because twist always works so much, right? Let me check. It's not working like that. It's not working much. Let's go and click on the unmasked and check how it works. Yeah, cool. See, now it's working very nicely. So we are getting some cool shapes from the cloth, but we have to be having the unmasked. If we use unbrushed, it's gonna work, but we have to do manual work a lot. But if we use the unmasked, it's gonna work so nicely. It is a good technique to use. And here we have got a lot of brushes. We have to use unmasked for the brushes to work properly. And here we have the wind, like if you blow the hair into balloon or something like that, you can get this kind of effect. See, this is how it works. Wow. See, This is how it is working now. And I'm just pressing Alt to bring it up. But if you use it directly, it's gonna go inside. Let me put in solo mode to check, see how it works. This is working like that. If you use unbrushed, it's gonna give something like this. According to your needs, you have to use this. See, this is how it works. The wind, according to the wind you provide, the cloth moves. Of course, this is the gravity. These all the brushes works with the gravity, so you don't have to worry about anything. You can get some natural stuff with the brushes, natural clothing and dynamics, of course. And here we have got these cloth slide and cloth pull, and right now we're gonna use the cloth nudge. It's just like a Photoshop tool. You just need to nudge, just something like this. See the nudge, how it works. This is how it is working. If you go to the unmask, it's gonna work a little bit more, something like this. Instead of that, you can use however you want. These brushes are fantastic, definitely fantastic. I'm gonna go and use the on brush and check how it works. See, these are great brushes to use and generate the clothing. And here we have got the hook. You can pull the surface as you want. See here, the cloth is moving. Of course, with the gravity in the real life, you know, when you do something like this with your hand by picking up some of the amount of the cloth, it behaves like that, right? That's how you do. And if you go to the unmasked, it will do the same, but a little bit bigger and more. But I'd like to go with the unbrushed for some brushes. For some brushes unmasked. Unbrush is working totally fine for this. See, this is how it works. And now I'm gonna go to the probably the cloth ball and check how it works. The ball is just pulling the surface up, but I don't have that much detailed stuff in here. Detail thickness, not thickness, actually the smoothness. I'm gonna increase the smoothness of this, probably not this, oh my god, this actually. And see, it's giving some kind of stiffness. I'm gonna reduce that so I can get some nice falls, I guess. Some kind of ball, cloth ball. I can go to the mask and check how it works. Yeah, this is giving some kind of ball effect, and it is giving some kind of cloth falls around the ball. I'm gonna go in here and check. This is how it is working now. I'd like to increase some self collisions and check how it works. Self collisions are very important for the cloth. You want to use them nicely, you have to use the self collision, at least 2 recommended. I'm gonna go for this and check. I guess it's just creating some kind of ball and creating some kind of folds, but right now I don't see any holes in here. I can see a little bit, but that's fine. What if I increase this? Ah, cool. This is giving some kind of ball in here. Okay, that's fine. I guess this is doing this. The ball, it's just creating the ball. I'm gonna go to the default. Sorry, my cat is just annoying. That's just annoying, it's just cute. Anyway, I'm gonna go to the next brush in here, cloth slide. What is gonna do? Just slide, just something like this. It's just gonna be sliding everything as we need. It's just working like the move tool and like something like this. Of course, I have to be in the on brush to work properly with this brush as it's doing. I can use the dots sometimes because dots work pretty much fine. Let me go in here and select the different brush and see what it be doing. Inflate, I guess it's just be bringing the cloth volume up. Yeah, that's doing with the gravity. With these brushes will be using the gravity. That's the difference between the normal brushes and these. And right now we have the wind. Of course, I've shown that. And right now, the cloth pull, just pulling the cloth in the direction as you want. You can increase a little bit more. See, just like there. I'm just pulling the cloth. Of course, it's using the gravity. Definitely. And just simulate a little bit. Check. Of course, we are getting this because we haven't calculated it. We have to recalculate that always and do the run simulations. Let's check how it works. Gravity is too much, I guess. Gravity is okay, and everything is all right. Let me go to the mask and check how it works. Masks generally unmasked won't work for the simulations. And let me check something. Oh, it is just on the bed, something like that in here. Gravity strength is alright. Not much. I have to, let me reduce this and try do this. Okay, it's working, but the self collisions are very less. Let me increase this to 4 and check. We can move this with the pull. Now it is working like this. So we can adjust the things later if we don't get probably anything. I just recalculated and simulated something like this, and it is just going under that. I can check for more. Let's check how it works. Simulations. Let me go to the smoothness to 3 and let me do that. And inflate can be lower. It's just falling. Anyway, I can always pull it up. Because of that, the cloth pull brush is there. That's why I showed that. Anyway, we have to go to the cloth pinch now. Let me check with this brush. It's just like painting the surface. Ooh, it's like that. And we have on the unbrushed. It's working fine. This is how these brushes are working. Okay. Let me go back to the first. And here we have that, and we're going to here, and I'm gonna go and do the simulation again. Yeah, cool. And once we have done the simulation, let me do some corrections in here. If we accidentally put a lot of bumps in here, let me sculpt with the damn standard for a while and check how it works. Okay, I'm gonna increase these. Okay, I'm gonna go to the cloth pool, and I'm gonna increase the size of the brush, and see, that's gone. That's how it works. Now let me go to create some kind of awkward shapes. Oh, I'm just doing this bumpy kind of surface with a lot of awkward surface details. I'm doing this for a reason. You will know very soon. And right now we have got something like this. And right now we have got the smooth cloth and smooth peak and smooth valleys. Valleys are kind of like the rivers. I mean, these are the peaks. If we have the peak details on our cloth, we can smooth them out easily. If you select this brush, it's gonna smooth everything very nicely. Very nicely, in the sense you can check in here. See, if you use this brush, you're gonna smooth strongly with the way, with this gravity. Not the wind, it's gravity. See, this is how it smooths out. This is how it has done. Let me go back and check with the peak smooth. So if you use this, press shift, it will be changed to the smooth brush. Actually, we have to go and select the peak, smooth peak. I guess it's not belongs to the dynamics, but I really like this smooth brush. So I'm gonna show you this, how it works. See, the peaks are going to be smoothed out. See, these peaks are smoothed out very nicely. Yeah, that's cool, right? And if you have the surfaces like, let me draw a few. Let me increase the smooth subdivisions. Make sure, let me check in. Not, it won't work with this because it's not the dynamic brush. So here we have something like this, some kind of valley in there. I'm gonna select this smooth valley, and if you press shift, see the smooth, this is like smoothing everything. The valleys, like it's kind of river kind of shapes. I'm just calling like that, but it is valley. See, the valleys are getting smooth in here. That's how you do and use the smooth valleys. And here we have the most important transpose cloth we're gonna use very often while making the cloths. Right now I am in the unbrushed. Of course it's gonna work, but I have to recalculate that, and I'm gonna go and reduce the smooth subdivisions. See how it works. You can check, right? See, we're just pulling the cloth in the real time as we want, and we are just moving the cloth and shaping that as we want. If you put any object on the cloth, if it collide with that object, it is gonna get that shape as you want. See how it works. That's a cool thing that Zbrush 2021 has. I'm gonna go in here and check the shapes and do the simulation again. That's cool. That's really cool. Any kind of cloth can be made using the Zbrush 2021 with the dynamics and dynamic brushes with the gravity. Here we have the cloth pull. Just pull them out, pull them up, just like that. It's just done. That's how you do. And here we have the cloth move brush as well. You can use that if you want to use. You just move the cloth as you want with the gravity. Cloth gravity. It's not gravity is not just like pulling, going down, but it is working like natural cloth. But this brush is behaving like a normal move brush for the cloth, but it is maintaining, it is giving some kind of cloth details for us while moving. This is gonna be very useful for us. You can use that if you want to use. And of course, I guess we covered everything. You can experiment with the brushes. Right now we have, see, this is just giving cloth dimples. I don't have much divisions in here to check this out. Yeah, cool, but I'd like to reduce the intensity so I can get some good stuff. Yo, it's working. But I don't know, maybe I have to check more with these brushes, and if I check and experiment with them, I'll be making another video for that. But this is just a basic video for the dynamics to make you understand the maximum simulation points. If you increase that, you'll be increasing the time. It will be increasing the time while simulating the cloth, because it will be increasing the points as well, and you'll be getting some kind of nice folds for you and for your cloths. And here we have the gravity. If you increase that, it's going to be simulating very fast, and it's going to be pulled towards the floor strongly. We definitely don't need that. And if you can use the inflate for that, what it will doing if you use a brush for that. So if I want to use some kind of brush for that, let me check. It's gonna inflate. Sorry, here we have the inflate brush, right? Here we have that. It's gonna inflate all the stuff, but it is very important feature while using the simulations. It's gonna use the inflate values and directions, y, x, y, z. All of them are just like that. Deflate is gonna go and shrink and expand. It's gonna expand, and contrast it's gonna be going to up and down directions, mostly the bottom to up. You can experiment with that. That's gonna work nicely with the clothing. That if you want to make the female clothing, it's gonna work very nicely. If you want to work any clothing, doesn't matter. Anyway, I'm gonna go to the hook. I'm gonna pull that out, but I'd recommend you to work under the or subdivisions. Once you're happy with this, just hit apply. That's it, it's done, and you'll be having the cloth in here. So that's how it works, the dynamics. You understood, right? The strength of the simulation and the firmness. If you increase that, it's going to be more like leather kind of thing, and if you decrease that, it's going to be more silky kind of thing, cloth. And if you increase self collisions, make self collisions. If you have the thickness, the collisions will be a little bit tougher to simulate. If you don't have any self collisions, it's gonna give some kind of blend. Means it's gonna distort. So we don't want that. So we have to increase this. The other side of the cloth won't be coming out of the top of the cloth surface. And right now we have covered everything. Mostly I didn't cover the liquify. I'll be making another video for that. And set direction, you can set the direction of the wind gravity, if you select these things. And in here, the collision volume, you understood that, right? If you have the objects under this, if you don't under the scene, I mean under the cloth and in the scene, you have to turn this on and recalculate that, so it will be calculating the scene and the objects instead of it. And when you're simulating, they're gonna use that under the object, under the cloth. You can see those objects, right? Let me turn off this one. So these kind of objects, if you have the male body or female body or any kind of body, and if you make a cloth for that, and if you simulate the clothing, it's gonna use the collision value to generate the cloth, realistic cloth detailing, just like the falls and the gravity for the cloth. Is gonna use, make sure always recalculate once you finish the run simulation or before starting the simulation. And right now here I've explained about this, I guess. 250, the maximum points are the maximum points. If you reduce this, it's going to increase the no, it's not going to increase it. It is going to decrease the time period of simulating, and it's going to be very faster. If you increase that, it's going to be slow, but it's going to give some final results for you. And right now I've covered everything here, and of course I've covered the dynamics. And if you want to use, you can create the Nanomesh for you to use in here. If you want to give some specific kind of details to the cloths, you can use that Nanomesh. Turn on this, and you can use any of these. I'd like to use something like this. Oh my god. Okay. Scale. It's gonna be going down. Really? Oh my god. Chainmail. Because I'm having a lot of points because it has smooth heavily. So I have to be in the first level to use that. So I can see the chainmail, right? The armor characters will be having something like this. So you can use something like this to generate the chainmails and a lot of details. Here we have the cloth detailing. So awesome, right? This is how you work. And one more thing I'd like to talk about here is, when you are using this, make sure you have to put that in first level in the smoothness, in here the subdivision levels. Otherwise it's gonna work. You've seen what happened in the start, right? That's how it works. And if you want to increase scale, you can, but if you want to decrease, you can decrease the scale. So it's going to be decreasing the scale in here. So if you increase, it's going to give some great results. I really like this. And of course, this is rotating. You can rotate as you want. It's going to give, I don't like this. I'm going to rotate using Z-axis in here. That's how you work. I'd like to check with this, and oh yeah, this is nice. I'm gonna reduce the scale. I don't want that. I don't want it to be that much. If I apply this, it's gonna be like this. One moment please, because it's calculating and building the points. That's how it has been done. Here we have this. I'm gonna turn the lower off. I don't want that. Cool. This is awesome. Wow. If you change the background in here, you can check how this is working. This is transparent. There is transparency because this has become the detailed. I don't know what I used, but I guess the cross knit. Yeah, this is how it works. I don't like to be using the white background for sure. It's gonna hurt my eyes. I'm gonna use this is kind of background. Even for the sculpting, it's gonna be very nice. We can see all of the shapes nicely. just like the presentation render. Yeah, that's how. If you like this video, just subscribe to my channel and share this video to your friends and artists. If you don't like, please comment. I'll try to improve my videos and what I have to improve, because I'm starting in YouTube for the first time. So anyway, that's it. That is it for this video. Bye. Take care.